Hello, bird nerds. How are you? I'm in a cabin in Cairns. Lighting not the best. I'm sorry about that, but I'm hoping you can hear me just fine, and hopefully the internet holds up. Hey, if you're new here, I'm Grant. I'm a bird nerd. I'm currently on a bit of a road trip, acting as ground crew for Microlight Milly Formby, who's flying a microlight around Australia, raising awareness of shorebirds. She's at a conference at the moment. She was invited to be one of the keynote speakers for a conference about pretty much about sustainability and circular economy, and so she's there tonight. Millie and I were in the Flecker Botanic Gardens this afternoon and the adjoining Centenary Gardens, and Millie was recognised by somebody from the conference, and then we noticed this guy bird watching. He was walking around with his binoculars, and Millie and I were walking around with our binoculars. We both got a lifer today too, by the way. Actually, I got two, but didn't really get a good look at the second one. And anyway, it was somebody who, the guy with the binoculars, was somebody who knew Millie by reputation, and Millie knew him by reputation. So after the weekend, I will tell you that story. It was pretty fun. Freaked Millie out a bit today because Millie and I are going on a special adventure, shall we say. We're doing some real bird nerd, hardcore bird science stuff on the weekend with the person that we met in the Botanic Gardens. Okay, now, Naomi, I will tell you that in a moment. Now, let me just clarify what happened. I know Stormy was in here for the last live stream that I missed. Sometimes things just don't go as planned when you're on the road, so I have to be a bit flexible, which is why we're doing a Monday midday show on Thursday night at 7 o'clock. Let's see, the lifers today, Naomi, for me, double-eyed fig parrots. We saw them fly overhead, and the very experienced birder who was with us said that's what they were. They're like little bullets in a flock, and you just can't. We didn't get a good look at them, but hey, John said that's what they were, so we're claiming them. The other one, what was it? God, we see so many. Oh, little kingfisher. This was in Flecker Botanic Gardens in Cairns. We saw in Centenary Gardens, which is next door. Little kingfisher on one side of a freshwater pond, and around the other side, azure kingfisher. But yeah, the little kingfisher was a lifer. We got the Papuan frogmouth the other day, which was good. A pair of them, and that was a tip-off. We were told where to find them, so that was really cool. What else we get? We finally got the black butcherbird after a while. So yeah, we're just seeing so many things. Shining bronze cuckoo today was nice. We're starting to see quite a few rufous fantails. So that's good. What else? Oh boy, we're just having a good time. Oh, hi Martin. Martin's in. Let's see. Double-eyed fig parrot. Oh yeah, defpa. Yeah, they're just like little tracer bullets, and I didn't realise that they got around in such sizable flocks or groups. Martin, did you work out that you had a little group? Would that be, or Australasian group? Tell us that. For those that, well, you probably won't know because I haven't shared it yet. Martin sent me a picture, and with the comment that so many of us, when we're beginning our bird ID journey, you see all these birds swimming around on a dam or on a pond, and you go, "Oh, what are those ducks?" And you can't really tell what those ducks are. Well, often those ducks are grebes. So yeah, I hope you're getting a lot of enjoyment out of watching them, Martin. They're super cool birds. Um, I might be confusing that it was Martin. I'm pretty sure. Can't keep up. I don't know what day it is. It's great. Um, so we spent a lot of time. We spent about 3 weeks in the Townsville region waiting for the wind to come right, and it still hasn't come right. But we decided to drive up to Cairns for a second time. Millie did some schools last week, and she's doing this conference yesterday and tomorrow, or yesterday, today, and tomorrow. So we decided to spend some time. Oh, Martin, then it was stormy. Was it stormy? Sorry, stormy. Uh, I can't keep up. Must have been stormy because I think it's only you and Stormy uh, that have sent me anything in recent times. Um, so let's see, where were we today? So we went to Flecker Botanic Gardens today, and the day before we we drove up from Townsville. Didn't see too much on the way up this time. But I did see a massive flock of black kites just as the evening was coming in, as I was driving out from Townsville to Woodstock, so about 35, 40 k's out of Townsville to the west. That was pretty amazing. Um, uh, the Rufus House, we got the Papuan Frogmouth. That was amazing. Got a tip off for that. Um, I've got a little recording that I did with the Cairns Birders group a few days ago, which I'm hoping to release tomorrow. Um, and the road widening project here between Townsville and Cairns, turning it into like a or 2 lanes each way, separated dual carriageway, um, is going to put some of the really unusual habitat, a turf farm that we were at risk, and it's a really popular spot for passage migrants. I mean, they get the yellow wagtail and Pacific golden plovers, and we saw pratincoles there the other day. That was exciting for me. I'd never seen a pratincole on the hunt, and they look quite raptorish as they're hunting for uh, as they're hunting for insects. Uh, Now, Stormy, HC Rider, or as we also know him as Stormy, yeah, the trip is going fantastically well. Um, I mean, when you're in a place that you're not familiar with and that you haven't been before, especially if you haven't been there birding before, you're going to pick up lots of lifers. So that's really fun. Um, I'm I had a ball today in the Botanic Gardens at Flecker, being a complete plant nerd as well. But I've really enjoyed watching. We were in Atherton and we come down to Cairns and we went back up to Atherton, and as you come up into the tablelands, watching the vegetation change as the altitude changes, that's really really good. Um, I'm also getting to meet some really interesting people because Millie's uh, in the sort of recreational aviation crowd, obviously, because flying, being a pilot. Uh, so hearing lots of stories and opening my eyes up to a whole different way of how people spend their time. We're meeting quite a lot of birders and people who are into birds, into nature. That's really good fun. Um, and just some of the facilities. I mean, I think I've raved on about the Tyto wetlands before, just out of Ingham. The town common at Townsville is astounding. I mean, we went to the private wetlands south of uh, uh, yeah, south of Townsville. I mean, we've been to some amazing places. Paluma, the ranges there. Um, the Atherton and Tablelands we haven't really had a good look around yet. We're going up to what is it, Mount Elliot, I think, on the weekend. I'm going to do the foreshore, the Cairns Esplanade tomorrow. Uh, it's just been really really good. I mean, we've seen flocks of brolgas, we've seen nesting jabiru or blackneck storks, we've seen unbelievable amounts of waterfowl. It's just it's just great. Now, Naomi, yeah. Look, the Pratt and Cole. I had seen Pratt and Cole before, but I'd only ever seen them either standing still or resting, like on the ground. I hadn't seen them flying and hawking for insects. Now that was really cool. That was exciting, actually. We're seeing lots of raptors, of course. That's good. Martin, Cairns Esplanade will be tomorrow for me. Um, it'll depend on the tide too. Oh, excuse me. We drove 2 days ago. I drove from Cairns to Townsville, and yesterday we drove from Townsville to Cairns. So the driving's sort of catching up a little bit. Oh, Millie and I are sharing, but I'm on the days when if Millie's been working on the microlight like she was the other day, uh, or when she's got an engagement coming up. I mean, I try and do most of the driving because it really takes it out of you. But where was I going with that? Yeah, so tomorrow I'll be out looking. When we look, we've seen some interesting coastal flats. Cardwell was been up and back a few times past Cardwell and had a look, but there hasn't been much out there. When we were looking there was only silver gulls and Mars lapwings. The Mars lapwings up here behave quite differently. Now, tell me this: if you're familiar with the southern version, which we always called the spur wing plover, have you seen them in flocks? Tell me that. Have you ever seen big flocks of spur wing plovers? Because up here they hang out in bloody big flocks. It's pretty well. It's just strange. Also, black-faced cuckoo shrikes, seeing them in big groups. I still haven't seen a pale-headed rosella, so that one's kind of turning into the nemesis bird. I think I've told you all about our honey eater day with at Paluma. So Maclay's honey eater was fantastic. We actually saw Maclay's honey eater um, at Tyto as well in the scrub, and that was great. Lovely fairy wren there was a highlight too. Little kingfisher today was great. That what a cool bird! And it was fishing from low down, very similar to the way I think I described to you the azure kingfisher that we saw at the Townsville Town Common, um, from low down and just getting little fish. And then half an hour walk around this pond, and then to see an azure kingfisher sitting there showing off as well. That was great. So yeah, we're having a good time. Yeah, Naomi, you haven't seen the spur wing plover or the southern version of the Mars lapwing in flocks. Yeah, it's just weird seeing it. Black-faced cuckoo shrikes in big groups as well. Fig birds in big groups. Great bowerbirds also hanging out in pretty large groups. Yeah, there's a lot. There's a lot. Now, what I did want to tell you, I don't want to go for too long tonight because I haven't really got that much to tell you. Uh, okay, yeah. So, Stormy, you're validating my opinion there. Now, Stormy, I was talking about the grebe and the duck. That was you, wasn't it? Sent me that. Um, and did you go and check out the bird book with on the grebe page? And do you think I was right? Um, yeah. What else was I wanting to let you know? Yeah, I don't want to go to too long tonight. I will have. I've got a short episode that I want to release tomorrow, which I recorded with the people at the Cairns Birder Group um, the other day. So that'll be like a short. It's only 10 minutes or something, and then we're going to do. I'm going to be interviewing people on the weekend, but I don't want to tell you what we're doing yet because that'll sort of ruin half of the fun. But I'll be taking the hand recorder up and talking about or talking to people as they're doing bird nerd stuff. And Milly's really excited to be heading up there and doing it as well. It's right in her wheelhouse of favourite activities. So you'll learn about that as we go along. But the story of the fellow that we saw in the gardens or in the parklands this afternoon was fun. I'm looking forward to telling that one, and I'll do that in the next live stream, which I don't know when that will be. I think where I think Milly's planning to be flying on Monday or Tuesday next week. So if Milly's flying on Monday, I'll be driving, but the chances are we'll be driving back down to Townsville out to Woodstock um, for Millie to fly. If not Monday, it will be Tuesday, I think. So, and then the legs will go either to Innisfail and then to Atherton, or Millie will go from Townsville all the way to Atherton, and then we want to spend a bit of time up on the Atherton tablelands because the birds up there are very different to the birds down here. Oh, Stormy, I'm glad you mentioned this. Lewin's honeyeater. Uh, you hear them everywhere around here, but you don't see them a lot. Maybe you do in gardens. We obviously we saw the Lewins in the garden at Paluma where we saw the Maclays and the bridal honeyeater and the spindle as well. What else? We saw another one too. Uh, but here you hear them everywhere. You just hear that machine gun call that they do everywhere up here. But you don't always see them. But they're really common. Um, not aggressive as I expected them to be. Now they're not like the white-eared honeyeater, which is what I always sort of equate them to as the bird from down south. Excuse me. Um, yeah, okay. So Stormy, you've seen the Lewins and the Australasian grebe. Um, let's see, Martin. What's your latest new one, Martin? Um, oh, and Stormy, I saw you've got all the comments from the other day when I didn't turn up for the live stream. So you had what wood ducks? Here we go. Let's put up your old comments from the other day. Wood ducks, chestnut teal, rainbow lorikeets, very good. Oh, bell miners, are they common? Uh, the bell miners up there. Then what do you got? Red brow finches. Oh, we're going hunting parrot finches on the weekend too. Um, blue uh, blue parrot finch, blue faced parrot finch. Red whiskered bauble. Okay. Uh, okay. Okay. Satin bowerbirds. Good. Oh, I'm I'm always surprised when I see a satin up close and just how big they are. Um, They're a chunky bird, aren't they? Lewins. Yeah, Naomi. I think the Lewins just don't seem that pugnacious, so that's great. Um, Bellminer is common. Okay. Um, I'm still loving the Frybirds. I'm loving them. Um, Staying in town at the moment, where I'm not going to be hearing the bush stone curlew tonight. But gee, the orange-footed megapode or the jungle fowl or whatever you might know it as, that's got a call and a half. It's bizarre as well. We heard one with this mystery person that we ran into in the gardens today. We could hear it in the distance, and we thought, oh yeah, that's probably grub fowl. And then as we were leaving the gardens, one walked out right in front of us and called, and yeah, that's definitely what it was. Um, okay, got any questions for me? I'm trying to remember what else. I mean, black butcherbird's been that was good to get. Uh, I enjoyed the shining bronze cuckoo today because I don't. Um, I've seen the horsefields more often than the shining, so that was good. Um, oh, we saw an osprey today too. That was cool. Um, Powerful owl. That's always a good sighting. Um, Stormy, are you getting involved in the Powerful Owl project with BirdLife? If you've got a local one there, I believe. Um, let's see. Now, Naomi, you know that I don't actually keep a list, don't you? So, what is happening is Millie is keeping the list, and when we're bird watching together, and doing that list with me in eBird, I have to actually go through and go through the official bird names now and go through what I have seen and sort of come up with it. But I reckon I'd reckon I'd be getting around the 500 plus Australian birds, I think. I wish I kept a list when I was in Indonesia and in the Philippines, because I just can't remember what I was seeing there. I was concentrating on other things, and again, I'm learning that I've got the camera, but I just don't like when I'm out birding in a new spot, trying to focus on taking the photos. I'd much rather watch what the birds are doing. This afternoon we saw willy wagtails, leaden flycatchers, and grey fantails, and Rufus fantails. That's right, all chasing each other around in a couple of trees. So that was fab. Martin, yes, I'm going to pop this up. Now we got the rose crown fruit dove in Mackay in a garden, and sunbirds are everywhere around here, so I'm sure there's piles of them down there. But I think what I'll be looking for most on the Esplanade, well, we'll just walk around and see what we get. Uh, but if the tide's out, we want to see if there's any overwintering waders there. So that would be cool. Um, yeah, Naomi, I think Millie's cracked her 500, so that was good. Uh, I think I've got to go way back and see how many have been split off from what I've seen, and then you've got to see whether you've seen all the different species that might have been split out or whether it's just one or whatever. Anyway, we'll go through that. What's Naomi? No, I haven't, Naomi, and I haven't sorted the camera out. And frankly, we've really been too busy for me to dick around with half a day doing it. I mean, because I'm trying to learn about the history of where we're at. Of course, I like to check out a bit about the socio-economic conditions and just what it's like to live over here, in the different places. Talking to lots of people. Um, so yeah, photography has become like a second or maybe third in the area. Uh, Stormy, I reckon 75 in the local area is not a bad get. Um, what's that? That's getting close to 10% of all the birds in Australia. Um, so that that's not bad. That's nothing to sneeze at. And of course, look how many thousand kilometres have we travelled? That's a lot. Um, yeah, I agree with Naomi. I reckon 75 is not a bad number if it's just sort of around your local patch. I think mine is something around 30, 35. I think so. So that makes a big difference. Um, Having like, oh, what's going on here? Let's see. So, any other any other questions? Hit me up with any questions. Oh, oh, that's a bugger. Well, see, I didn't take any photos of the powerful hours when I was out with Doctor Nick, um, and I don't regret that because oh, you know owls are amazing. Hearing the barking owls has been a highlight on the trip. Seeing the rufous owls, that's been a highlight on the trip. Papu and Frogmouse was really cool. Um, what else? The huge amount of whistling ducks that we saw was really staggering. Um, Jabiru or black-necked stork nesting, that was really cool. Um, oh, um, yeah. I'm seeing some amazing plants too, like syzygiums in the wild, like the lily pillies in the wild, Paluma, but also right up around here. That's been great. The Banksias around Hinchinbrook, that was really cool. Also, the Banksias up in the Paluma Ranges, they were really cool to watch to check out. Um, yeah. Oh, Naomi, of all the birds that I've seen recently, do I have a favourite? Look, um, I have to say I'm really enjoying seeing the forest kingfishers. They're sort of everywhere. Do you know down in rural Victoria and rural New South Wales, often like every power line or every power pole you go, if you're on a trip, there might be a brown falcon. Sort of every power pole, there's a new brown falcon looking for grasshoppers or something. Well, the forest kingfishers are kind of a bit like that around here. They're everywhere. Uh, 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 they're really cool looking. Really enjoying them. Am I back? Am I back? I'm back. Um, I don't know if you missed any of that. Let's go back over what I was saying. So Naomi asked, have I got a favourite? Um, well, I was just saying I've really been enjoying the forest kingfishers. Um, but I'm liking the Firebirds. The helmeted Firebirds are cool. Or knob-billed Firebird, whatever they are called in whichever book you're looking in. But the Spangled Drongo is a beauty. I really like the Spangled Drongo. The ubiquitous black kite is also always fun to watch. I love how they can twist and turn in flight. But I find it really, really difficult to have a favourite, just because I just enjoy watching what the birds are doing. The crimson finches. We've seen enough of them to in different places to just get to know them a little bit. Stormy Sacred Kingfisher's a beauty. It's good here where we see the sacreds and the forest, but the forest is far more prevalent. But also, sent the redbacks, although they're a bit more dry country, we're expecting to see some more of them up around Atherton. But seeing both the kookaburras, the laughing and the blue-winged, in similar places is is really cool. They're a cute bird, Naomi, the forest kingfisher, and look, the little kingfisher's a beautiful looking bird too, but for people up here, they're just common. They're just the everyday bird. I think that's the thing I'm learning. Now, what I did want to say, I'd sort of tease the common urban birds that I'm seeing, and that one might surprise people. I haven't seen any starlings up here, but the common myna is common up here, which surprised me a little bit. But spotted doves, spotted doves right up the coast now. That one surprised me. I envisaged that we'd just be seeing all these fruit doves. Well, we haven't seen the emerald dove or the green wing fruit pigeon. We haven't seen a superb fruit pigeon or fruit dove yet. Been seeing the top knots. We got the wampu. I haven't seen any of the white ones yet. The whitish ones. So I guess if we get to the right place with fruits, we'll catch up with them. But I'm surprised at how prevalent the spotted dove is up here. So, and sparrows. I was surprised that the house sparrow had made it up here. I heard it calling. Didn't see it, but I did hear them this morning before I was out and about. So that's at the caravan park here. So they're obviously going to be around the Cairns city area. Plenty of them in Townsville. So I guess we'll probably find that they're over in Normanton and whatnot as well. So, which was a little bit surprising. Yeah, Naomi, I'm not sure if the spotted is actually displacing other pigeons. I think there's like a different niche here that they fit into. I can't think. They're certainly in Melbourne. They haven't been displacing the crested pigeon, and that would seem to me to be the bird that they would almost directly compete with. They don't they don't seem to do well in the same habitat as the bronze wings, the common and the brush. I just don't know, but they really have found a niche here. There we go. So that's interesting, Stormy. The house sparrow rare in your area, spotted dove common. Yeah, I think it's the ubiquitous bird now. Well, Martin, I am pleased if you are rarely seeing spotted doves. Which doves or pigeons are you commonly seeing in Gladstone? That's the question we need to ask when you say that we're not seeing spotted doves very commonly in Gladstone. Okay, yeah, yeah, crested pigeons everywhere. They're not so common up here, but they're around. Um, what did I see the other day? I saw pipits chasing each other around. Um, yeah, I think that's probably the one. It's probably the peaceful dove and maybe the bar-shouldered dove that they are. But the bar-shouldered dove, I think, likes denser, denser cover than the spotted dove usually likes. So, yeah, probably up here. But gee, the peaceful dove seems to be doing quite fine up in the north. And I still can't forget Stan with his recording of the peaceful dove, and I didn't know it, and now I can never forget it because it's you just hear it everywhere you go up here. Mm. Great little bird, great little bird. Um, so Martin's got the peaceful, the bar shouldered, and the crested up there in Gladstone. Okay, well, I'm going to wrap up now. So I'm going to give you the opportunity to tell me your latest amazing bird sighting. Martin and Stormy have been doing that. I'm trying to think what else I've seen that's been amazing. I mean, there's just been so many amazing things. I am a little bit struck at how few parrots uh, we're seeing. Like I've seen the red winged, but only twice, and that was driving north of Mackay. No, between Rocky and Mackay, I saw one, and then I saw one uh, driving north of Townsville. So I've only seen two. We're seeing some red-tailed black cockatoos, which is good. Um, Sulphur cresteds are just they're not super common. They're just one of the birds hanging around, so that's good. Um, so, I'm just revisiting that thought of Naomi's if I've got a favourite. Look, I have to say, I really like the forest kingfisher, but having seen both the little kingfisher and the azure fishing, that's been pretty cool. Um, uh, just trying to think. The white-browed crake was a nice one to get to. Lovely wren as well. Lovely fairy wren. Um, well, good luck finding the scarlet. Um, yeah. Jeez, it's all those weeks ago that we saw the rose robin. That was wild. Okay. Well, there we go. We've we've run to 3/4 of an hour. I think that's all I've really got to share. So we're going to do something fun on the weekend. So I'll report back with that one. Keep an eye out on the notifications for when. Uh, uh, yeah, just keep out an eye out for the notification for the next one. Um, oh, are you? Uh, well, that'll be good if you can get the scarlet robin in a graveyard. Uh, that will be cool. Yeah, rose robin's lovely. I love the rose robin and the pink robin. I love all the robins. Uh, Eastern yellow robin, very good. That's probably my favourite bird, the eastern yellow robin. Although the pale yellow robin was lovely. Oh, I just love all the birds. I just love all the birds. Okay, folks. So I think there'll be something in the feed tomorrow morning for. Actually, it might not be tomorrow morning. It might be tomorrow, sort of midday. I might do it after I've done the thing I have to do with Millie early, and then there'll be another one early next week after we do the fun thing that we're doing on the weekend, which I'm only teasing you about because I don't want to let the cat out of the bag just yet. So hopefully I'm in a better lit spot too next time. And next time I'm talking to you might be in Atherton, or we might have crossed over. We might have got. Oh no, we're not going to have been. We're not going to be over the top by Monday. So yeah, great. Look, Martin. Yes, broadbill flycatcher. That is on the list that we're hoping to get in the next few days when we actually go targeting a few birds. So, yeah, we've been given a few tips about where we can reliably expect to find it. And so far, nearly every one of the good tips that the locals in different places have given us have turned out all right. Oh, did I tell you the noisy pitter story? I don't know. Tell me if I told you the noisy pitter story last time. Yeah. Where was a noisy pitter at Tyto? That was where we lead and flycatchers. They're a ripper, aren't they? I really like watching them. We're seeing a lot of them around here. They're like the dominant flycatcher. All right, Naomi, the noisy pitter story. Okay, we'd been told a number of places where you'll see them. We got told that at Byfield. We got told that at Paluma, and a couple of places. They said, "Oh, they're everywhere." Youngala as well. When we dipped on the Youngala honey eater. Anyway, at Tyto, I saw a bird fly into a thicket. And chunky sort of bird, so I wasn't sure what it was, but I saw it go in. Millie was a bit further around the back edge of the thicket, and she's watching and she's telling me, come over, come over. So we've both got the binoculars on it, and it's at this multi-stem large shrub that is right next to the edge of a pond or a lagoon. So we both saw it. It was definitely a noisy pitter. We both got to see the head and then the back. So we could tell noisy pitter. We both went, yeah, noisy pitter. We got it, and then it went behind the stems of this multi-stem bush, and Millie couldn't get a photo, and we wanted to put it on eBird, but apparently it's not common. It's not regularly seen at Tyto, and I'm not surprised because they're hard. If they're in the thickets, they're hard to see. Anyway, we couldn't get a photo, but we were talking about doing playback, and Millie said, well, if you generally with pitters, if you do playback, they freeze, they don't respond, and they just shut up shop, basically. They just close down. But we played the playback and it responded straight away. So we knew roughly where it was, but we couldn't find it. We couldn't see it again. We couldn't get a picture. And I think the moderators at eBird didn't believe us. So anyway, we did get the noisy pitter, but boy, when they're in the thickets, it's hard to find them. But that was a bit of a thrill. Especially because it had been like one of the nemesis birds of the trip. Pale-headed rosella, I still haven't found one. Been looking since Brisbane. Haven't seen one, haven't heard one. Seen crimsons, they're around. Did any of you see Craig Emerson's post on Twitter the other day about the unusual crimson rosellas in Canberra? Look that up. I commented. So if you check in my Twitter feed and look for Craig Emerson, former minister, you'll see an interesting crimson rosella, photo of a crimson rosella in Canberra. Okay, well, I reckon that's about it, unless anyone's got anything else that they would like to tell us about. That's the whole point, the purpose. Don't forget, keep sharing, share everything. Uh, yeah, yeah, the mods can be tough, but I'm glad that they are because you don't want people telling porcupines. So that's good. It was just disappointing that we couldn't actually get the photo, or that Millie couldn't get the photo. And Millie's becoming a bit of a sharpshooter. She's becoming pretty good with her camera, so that's great. Another thing I want to share about the trip, because I usually do my birding on my own, and I like that, but I'm really enjoying birding with Millie. We're not a bad team. We both seem to pick out different kinds of birds. So yeah, we're a pretty good bird watching team, I think. Yeah. So, and I can see why people come up to Townsville and to Cairns for all of winter and just hang around up here. It's pretty nice in winter. I mean, here I am, winter, sitting in my t-shirt and in my shorts. I haven't got the aircon on, so that's nice. How wet is it down there, folks? I'm hearing that it's very, very wet in New South Wales and Victoria. Wonder what it's like in Tassie as well. So there we go. That's about all I can think of that will be valuable to you folk for today. Really looking forward to catching up again. I'm not sure how soon it will be. It's school holidays now, so I'll reach out to Holly and see when she's available, and we'll get together. Yeah. Oh, Stormy. Well, what? I think with the camera, I just need to spend more time concentrating on photography and not on birding. So I think when I get home, or maybe on the trip home, I will get a bit into it. I want to start using the camera to do more video pieces for me. But again, I'm not in the right headspace to be thinking about setting up shots and all that stuff at the moment. I'm just enjoying experiencing the new places we're at, and my excuse is that I'm always looking at the plants and the streetscapes as much as I am with the birds and seeing what people are doing in their gardens and whatnot. But I'm pretty partial to this part of the world. As Naomi wants to come back to Townsville and Cairns again. Not wet at your neck of the woods. That's good. Yeah, look, if I could find a way to make a reasonable crust up here, I'd be tempted to come back up here. I saw. I think I'm sure I've told you all a million times that I did my placement for horticulture when I finished at Townsville, and that was in the height of summer, and it was brutal. But I saw one of the guys working at the Flecker Botanic Gardens here in Cairns today, and I said to him, "Oh, gee, you got the worst job in the world. You know, what a horrible job." And he said, "Oh, it is in summer," and I reckon he might have been right because it's humid here today. Yeah, 2 degrees tonight in the Blue Mountains, so fantastic. Or the foothills of the Blue Mountains. Hey. Okay, everyone. Nice to see you. It's always great talking to you. I look forward to doing it again. Look out for the next episode, dropping either tomorrow, and I'll probably drop some of the old Holly and I chats and some of the older chit chats into the podcast feed. Do us a favour, share the stuff you like. That's always cool. I need to do a bit of a push on Twitter again. I think we need to get some more birdos in here. See you, Naomi. See you, Martin. Thanks for being part of it again, Stormy as well. And we'll remember, it's an emergency. See you, gang.